Welcome back to coverage of Dreamhack Winter 2010 with your host Ondalog. Today we have two top-tier European players spawning in the 12 o'clock position as the red Terran is SjoW, spawning in the 9 o'clock position as the blue Zerg is mouzMorrow. Now these two players are pretty top-notch, and I'll prove it to you with their statistics. SjoW here has a rating of 3,215 on the European Battle.net servers, and a win ratio of 70%. This guy wins 70% of all games that he plays. And mouzMorrow is not too far behind him. His win ratio is 57%, and his rating is 3,074. So just going by the statistics on the Battle.net server, it looks like this game is favored for the Terran player. However, we will see how it pans out here on StarCraft Ontology, as we always do. Now just a quick update as far as the channel and the way I'm casting. I've changed to a couple things. I'm using a USB microphone now, so there should be no considerable lag between my voice and what's being cast. And I've also figured out how to use some video editing tools to cover up the timer and on the window and everything like that, so it should improve the quality of the cast just a little bit. So we see the opening here, a pretty quick gas here from SjoW, and a barracks deciding not to put his supply depot near the wall, which is interesting. He could get easily run by with a bunch of Zerglings, and they are in the close positions, so a wall off is definitely helpful, but he's very confident, I guess, that he'll be able to handle whatever situation comes up. As you see, the Overlord did scout in the 6 o'clock position, found nothing, and immediately started scouting towards the 12 o'clock. Drone is being sent to the 12 o'clock, and when he gets there, he'll see that the Terran is just a stone's throw away from his own base. Despite that fact, the Terran has decided to go fast expand, as all Zergs do these days. I have not seen a pro Zerg not fast expand. It's very rare, unless they're doing cheese, a 6-pool or something like that. And a pretty quick factory going down with a gas already stolen here by mouzMorrow. So Zerg stealing the gas. That's a thing that a lot of Zergs like to do. I'm not sure exactly how effective it is. He already has 2 Marines on it. He delays the gas by, I don't know, 30 seconds a minute at most. And who's to say that he wants to get that gas that fast anyway? Well, it looks like he does. He's sending that TV to bring it down, so it could slow down the Terran a little bit. Slow down any possible Banshee rush, anything like that. So, that's good for the Zerg. And we have here a roach warren going down for mouzMorrow. So he saw the factory, I think. Let me make sure to see whether he did see that factory. And no, he did not see the factory. So he's just playing safe, I guess, with the roaches. Or maybe he'll move into upgraded roaches later on. So
SCV ready.
The Terran has not scouted anything, but the Terran does not know where the Zerg is. So SjoW here, interesting that he hasn't sent out an SCV yet to scout. So let me bring up the production tabs here. We have 3 roaches on the way from mouzMorrow, still droning up. We have blue flame Hellions coming out, but it would be nice if he just scouted the Zerg a bit. You can find that there is a roach warren down, and that's basically going to prevent any Hellion harass from being effective. So the Hellion just here taking jabs in between. Roach comes out, and Hellion knows that when roaches come out, it's time for him to go home. They can micro against the roaches, but it's very painful, especially since the last patch that gave roaches, I think 4 instead of 3 range. So definitely very hard to fight against those roaches. As you see, yeah, there's a big investment into Hellion with the blue flame, and pumping out 3 of them right there. That's combined with the blue flame. That's definitely an expansion. So he does have a sizable Marine force, and it looks like he's took down at least one roach there. So yeah, they got a kill on them, 1 or 2 roaches. Now it is going to be Banshee play, and we do not see the cloaking field being researched. So just a naked Banshee, as I like to call them, going to be in play here. And what's going down? An expansion. So this Banshee will definitely help give the Terran more map control than he normally would without the Banshee. And we have a small brood of roaches and speedolings just hanging out here. And that's interesting. He wasn't supply blocked, so getting there. The Zerg's getting his lair, so he could go from here. He could tap to Mutalisks, something like that. Okay, the Banshee has come out. Banshee is taking down the Queen, and it looks like with 2 Queens there, the Banshee takes down the Queen, just barely survives with 2 hit points. We have Marines coming in. They're a little bit late to the battle, letting their Banshee go down there. Second Banshee goes down, and it looks like the Zerg's in trouble here. Now the Princeton Hellion really paying off, roasting up these drones. Terrible, terrible damage incurred upon the drones, and we need that Princeton Hellion taken down as soon as possible. Princeton Hellion goes down, the rest of the army is surrounded, drones being taken off the line again to defend, and it looks like the Zerg will come out perfectly fine. Not much back at home for defense, so Zerg could mount counter-attack right now. However, at this point the Terran is walled off, and there is no expansion to attack just yet. The expansion is all safe inside the Terran base, so there's a little exchange of fire there. And I just want to know, I like the Overlord placement of mouzMorroW. You see how all these Overlords are evenly spaced out? That is really effective for giving vision of the map. It's something that every good Zerg should do, and it's really an art to keep the Overlord in just the right place where it's not very vulnerable to Terran attacks. That is until Vikings come out, and if the Terran decides to Overlord hunt it. Now we have another Banshee coming out here, just trying to gain back some map control, possibly do some scouting, and we see that the Zerg is putting up a spire. That will help take care of the Banshees. Definitely need something to get rid of those Banshees. Maybe the Queens won't be enough, especially for offensive positions on the Zerg. We just see the Terran expansion just pumping on SCVs. Okay, there he goes. He lifts it up. Looks like he's going to put it down. Bunker going down. And is there an engineering bay? There is no engineering bay. An engineering bay would be nice right now, but he does have Thors, so it's not completely necessary. Engineering bay, of course, allows you to get turrets, and turrets are extremely effective against minerals, especially when you cover your mineral line with them. Now look at that saturation of the main. Wow, that is quite a lot of SCVs. I think at some point of saturation, just adding more SCVs does not really do anything for you. I think the optimal saturation is 3 per mineral patch. That's the most you're going to get out of a mineral patch. It's almost 3 SCVs on it. So we have more Thors coming out here. We have the Banshees coming back. And did I miss anything special with the Banshees? Doesn't look like it. He has the Mutalisks out, so Banshees can't really do anything without Cloak. Here's the Queen going to be taken out, but this Banshee is just too low. And we have the Mutalisks coming here and mopping up these Banshees. This is exactly what the Terran does not want to happen. And one Banshee is saved. So that was nice upon the part of mouzMorroW to go up there and take down that harassing Banshee. So we have 3 racks, a factory, and a Raven on the way. And for the Zerg, we have upgraded Carapace, flyer attack, centrifugal hooks, and Glial reconstitution. So upgrades across the board for the roaches and for the Mutalisks. And we have another hatchery going down right in next to the main of the Zerg. So it looks like he wants to really macro up, get a bunch of units out, and overwhelm his Terran opponent. We don't see a lot of siege tanks. We have one tank, and there's no siege mode enabled here. So I would think that the Terran would want to get a little bit more siege tanks to take care of those roaches, but he is SjoW with a 70% win ratio, and I am Ontolog with a much lower percentage win ratio. So if we take a look at the income for the players, we see that the Terran are both on 2 bases, and 2-base Terran versus 2-base Zerg is actually an unbalanced operation there. Terran has the power of 2 bases calling down mules constantly. The Zerg just can't keep up. However, the Zerg does have more drones. So I think what Zerg needs to do is expand, and actually he has this expansion up right now, so that's going to bring him back in balance with the Terran. And Terran should then follow up with a 3rd expansion of his own fairly soon. Now, another thing to notice here about this Zerg player, he is really spreading his creep all around the map here. That is really great. He's going to give his already mobile Zerg army increased mobility. So that's a really great thing to stay on top of as a Zerg player. You want to spread that creep all around the map in every which direction. You never know where the battle's going to take you, so that is excellent. And we have a drop going down here, going to take down the 3rd expansion here of mouzMorroW. And it looks like he was really out of position. He has 3 roaches here, and he's going to bring in his Mutalisk, and he also has Hellions here to supplement the Marines. But it looks like with the roaches and the they're going to be able to pull that up, no problem. And you see here that SjoW has scouted this expansion as well. Actually quite a few drones here, so SjoW is going to have to figure out what he's going to do in response to seeing how macro the Zerg is getting. As a Terran, you don't want to just sit there on 2 bases and allow your Zerg opponent to macro up ad infinitum. He's just going to roll you over with units. What happens is Zerg gets enough, and look at this creep right on the doorstep of the Terran player. So what happens when the Zerg macros up, even if he throws 100 supply of units at you, he has so many bases and so much income, he can just replenish that supply. And here we go, forget that, here's the battle. Roaches and Vandals running right in, Vandals doing terrible damage. Maurice and Marauder's not being microed enough. Roaches in the front, focusing down those cores, and this is exactly what the Zerg needs to do. He is pulling back, but I would say that the Zerg has definitely won that fight. SCV is coming off the line. And a bunch of Bandolings morphing in right now. Are they going to be ready in time? And yes, they are ready. They're going to roll, absolutely roll this Terran army. And look at that. Great control on the part of SjoW, picking up those very vulnerable Marines. And we have here point defense zones, but however, I think that's not enough. We have the roaches just piling pain on top of pain on the Terran player. Expansion definitely going down, and I do not see how the Terran can get back from this. Look at that. That is a massacre. That is definitely a losing battle for the Terran. Zerg, I like the way the Zerg is playing. He's not 100% committing every time. He's not wasting all his units or throwing them up the ramp. A lesser Zerg player would have tried to force his way up this ramp and then would have lost his complete advantage. Now the Terran has to do something because now he's down to 1 base. He has to make this work, do some damage here, and if he can't, he's going to have to call GG. And I don't think he's going to win. I think this is the last throw of the Terran player. And wow, that is pretty amazing. We're going to see GG right here. This has been Ontolog with coverage of the Dreamhack Winter 2010, and I'm over and out.